Indiana Fever right here. You see that venue change, June 7th. Isn't that the same day?
Music. Hey, have you heard about this latest move in the WNBA? The Indiana Fever is switching things up, and it's about to get heated. June 7th? Yeah, it's not just another game day. That's the same day the Washington Mystics decided to pull a major move, moving their home game against Caitlin Clark's Fever to none other than Angel Reese's city. Talk about a power play. Fans are losing it. Did the Mystics just go from being Angel Reese's biggest supporters to her biggest rivals? It's hard to tell right now, but it's clear this is about to turn the heat up in the WNBA. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about some serious city rivalry. And don't miss this, another change in the schedule. The Indiana Fever's game against the Mystics is now set for CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore. That's right.
On May the 28th, on September 7th at the Washington Mystics are moving to CFG Arena in Baltimore, bruh. So as y'all can see here, say game location change, CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. Somebody said, could it be the Mystic owner doesn't want the Caitlin Clark shot
game to Angel Reese's turf? Fans are wondering if the real reason behind this move is to keep Caitlin Clark from overshadowing Reese in her own hometown. The drama's building. Speaking of Caitlin Clark, have you seen what's been happening with her? She's got fans everywhere. Last week in Chicago, where they proudly put up a huge billboard for her, the energy was off the charts. The stadium was packed, the fans were excited, and let's be honest, they were there to see one thing. Caitlin Clark.
Indiana Fever 2025 road games at Mystics moved to Baltimore. So Angel, man, I mean, listen, y'all made a big deal 2 weeks ago about a Caitlin Clark billboard being put up in Chicago, the Windy City, the third largest city in the country. Of course, they're gonna have Caitlin Clark billboards. What are y'all gonna do about this? Baltimore, be more careful.
In the game. It's becoming clear the WNBA has found its superstar in Caitlin Clark. She's got that it factor that people can't stop talking about. Meanwhile, some of Reese's fans still act like she's the future of the league, but let's get real. The energy just isn't there. When Clark steps on the court, it's an event. The WNBA has been waiting for someone to bring that kind of spark, and Caitlin Clark delivers every single time. So now, with these changes in the schedule and the growing rivalry, things are about to get even more intense. Fans of both players are going to feel the heat, and we're here for it. Buckle up because it's going to be a wild ride this season. Music? Let's get petty for a moment. While Caitlin Clark is out here setting attendance records and bringing in new fans every single game, there's a conversation going on about the WNBA's growth. Let me break it down for you because this is something you don't hear every day. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA's viewership grew by 40% from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, that's a 400% growth. Think about that for a second. The funniest part? Rival teams are finally admitting what anyone with common sense already knew. The WNBA is in a whole new league with Caitlin Clark in it. Before she stepped onto the scene, the league was struggling to catch people's attention. But now, arenas are packed, TV ratings are
cases that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means
wants in. It's not because of Angel Reese's occasional double-doubles against weaker teams. It's because Caitlin Clark is must-watch basketball. People want to see her play. Now, there's a difference between moving the needle and being the needle, and Caitlin Clark is the needle. She doesn't just move the conversation. She dictates it. On the court, she's rewriting history, and off the court, she's changing the game too. The Indiana Fever, with Caitlin at the helm, accounted for 45% of all broadcast value for the WNBA last season. Her influence is so strong. She helped boost merchandise sales by
history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%, of course.
And, of course, her jersey? It's the #1 seller. But let's not kid ourselves here. Chicago fans may want to pretend that Angel Reese is on the same level, but facts are facts. Caitlin Clark is hitting logo threes, making impossible passes, and creating the best moments in the WNBA. Angel Reese? She's hustling, there's no doubt about that, but there's a big difference between being an energy player and being a superstar. The WNBA is a business, and guess who's bringing in the revenue? It's not the player who's flexing after a free throw. Caitlin Clark has single-handedly brought eyes
so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made.
Way we've never seen before. Now, a guy named Emmanuel Acho made a pretty bold statement. He showed how Caitlin Clark, in just 5 days before the draft, made the WNBA more money than they would have in the next 5 years without her. That's powerful. It's clear the Sky organization, like other teams, is in a tough spot. They have to act like Angel Reese is their star, even though every time Caitlin Clark comes to town, the city belongs to her. Ticket sales? Clark. Merch? Clark.
Y'all were mad about that billboard a couple of weeks ago. The Reese's Pieces were. I mean, I just this is going to annoy Angel. I know it is, and I know that they had to because the MCI Center, whatever Verizon Center, is under renovation. But still,
Are scrambling to find any excuse to downplay the reality. They say Reese is good for the culture, but here's the truth: the culture doesn't pay the bills. And don't get me started on that billboard controversy from a couple of weeks ago. Reese's fans were upset, but here's the thing: ratings and revenue do matter. Caitlin Clark is delivering on both, and that's why every team in the league is trying to get a piece of what Indiana is benefiting from right now. The WNBA has never seen this level of national attention. And it's not because Angel Reese is grabbing a few rebounds. It's because Caitlin Clark is single-handedly making people care about women's basketball. When she steps on the court, it's like a primetime event. Casual fans turn into die-hard fans. And every time Clark plays, it's a painful reminder for Reese fans that their favorite isn't the main attraction. And let's talk about the excuses. Every time Angel Reese struggles, there's a new excuse waiting to go. She's young. She needs more time. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting triple-teamed, hacked every game, and still putting up huge numbers. Funny how
Season game, Brazil versus the preseason game against the Brazilian national team sold out in 36 minutes, 15,000 fans. There's tickets for that game, upwards of 45.
merch? Clark. Viral highlights? Clark. Meanwhile, Reese fans are scrambling to find any excuse to downplay the reality. They say Reese is good for the culture. But here's the truth: the culture doesn't pay the bills. And don't get me started on that billboard controversy from a couple of weeks ago. Reese's fans were upset, but here's the thing: ratings and revenue do matter. Caitlin Clark is delivering on both, and that's why every team in the league is trying to get a piece of what Indiana is benefiting from right now. The WNBA has never seen this level of national attention. And it's not because Angel Reese is grabbing a few rebounds. It's because Caitlin Clark is single-handedly making people care about women's basketball. When she steps on the court, it's like a primetime event. Casual fans turn into die-hard fans. And every time Clark plays, it's a painful reminder for Reese fans that their favorite isn't the main attraction. And let's talk about the excuses. Every time Angel Reese struggles, there's a new excuse waiting to go. She's young. She needs more time. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting triple-teamed, hacked every game, and still putting up huge numbers. Funny how one player gets endless excuses, while the other just goes out and proves why she's the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA in years.
Fever versus Chicago Sky, because they said that it was like Me Too. Like, you guys are watching women's basketball because of Me Too. I mean, bro, everybody could get into this. Like, literally everybody could get into this game.